never planned on making any more of these top 5 videos. I originally made them to help improve my video making skills, as I was brand new to all of this at the time. However, I've been a bit surprised at the level of interaction in that series. And since I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV a bit lately, I thought, why not do a top 5 list for each of the expansions? And from there, maybe FF11's expansions, and the sequels and spin-offs and so on. My original top 5 favorite songs list from FF14 only counted version 1.x, so essentially anything from the Before Meteor album. I will make a new set of rules for this new list though. I cannot use any tracks that were also from that album. They have to be newly recorded tracks for A Realm Reborn. Also, they cannot be remixes of tracks from other games, so I can't use the Crystal Tower themes, for example. I want to make this as pure as possible. Also, why are these lists so incredibly difficult to make? I feel like I'm abandoning a child when I have to make cuts. Some are just as good as my top 5, but I made the cut based on how short they are, like Undying Faith and Crystal Rain. I hate to say it, but I think I may love A Realm Reborn's OST more than the original. We are so lucky to have Soken among us. Anyway, let's commence. Number 5, The Maker's Ruin. If this track doesn't get someone pumped for Final Fantasy XIV, what will? It's not one you will hear often in the game, but it always seems to play at the perfect times, usually before or during a climactic fight. In A Realm Reborn, that being during a part of the final boss gauntlet. I love how there aren't necessarily any unique instruments used, it's just a standard orchestra, yet it feels very FF. Isn't it interesting how one track can change how confident you are for a certain fight? Before the Ultima weapon, anyone would be terrified to step forward, but when the Maker's Ruin plays, you remember that you're the freaking warrior of light. Number 4, The Gift of Life. I can't directly explain why I love this one so much. I wouldn't even regard it as a special or memorable track. I believe it just puts me in the mood to ponder. I feel that the newer FF games soundtracks are deeply underrated in that regard. Ambience can be just as good or even better than melodic music sometimes. With a rich, breathing world like Eorzea, it's almost necessary to have calming tracks like The Gift of Life. Number 3, Forever Lost. I hadn't remembered this one until re-listening to the Realm Reborn soundtrack recently. What a beautiful tune. I looked up where it played in the game in case I had also forgotten that part, but no, it actually plays during one of my favorite moments of A Realm Reborn. Anytime you're able to see visions of or hearing characters' recollections of the Battle of Cartano mean a lot to me. I didn't get to experience the original game, but its soul still lingers powerfully. I would say Masayoshi Soken has been my favorite successor to Nobuo Uematsu. The piano and strings have so much character and emotion in this track. How ironic that the track that plays during the visions of the ending of Final Fantasy XIV 1.x is titled Forever Lost. Number 2, Pennatus. Longtime viewers know how much Final Dungeons mean to me, and this is the theme for Final Fantasy XIV's The Praetorium. Like the Maker's Ruin from earlier, everyone knows this is the track that gets you pumped and ready to tear everything apart that's in your way. I would exhort anyone that listens to this track to pay attention to the percussion. That's my favorite part. It's like an imperial stampede. Every instrument works so well with each other in this. Partway through, out of nowhere, it slows down to a beautiful piano piece. I don't know how Soken is able to make this solo flow so beautifully with the adrenaline-infused synth and strings of the rest of the track, but it just goes to show how talented he is. This is actually my favorite Final Dungeon theme of the 3D games. This, along with Memoria from Final Fantasy IX. Number 1, A New Hope and Sultana Dreaming. I'll never forget how I felt when I first played the beta of A Realm Reborn. I started in Ul'dah, not knowing what to expect. A New Hope played. At that time it was titled Jewel of the Desert, and somehow I knew this was going to be a special experience. It sounded as if John Williams had taken over. It felt that spectacular to me. But again, it also felt like everything wondrous we would expect from a Final Fantasy game. My delight only had just begun. It wasn't long after that I entered Ul'dah at night, and that's when I hear Sultana Dreaming. I know this track is probably at the top for everyone, but it really is that special. This is also featured in the film and series Dad of Light, which I highly recommend. Whether night or day, the themes that play in Ul'dah will always remind me, and many others, of the day we first turned on A Realm Reborn.